Hello, everybody, and welcome into HelenKenner.com. I have some beautiful cards to show you tonight. They're very quick and easy. And this is when you want to showcase the designer series paper. So it's not about the sentiment at all. But the paper is just beautiful, and it coordinates with a stamp set, but you don't have to have that stamp set. So that's what I love about this paper, and it's called Ready to Ride. So I want to show it to you. Now I just had to have this paper because my husband is he used to be an avid. I'm going to set this one aside. An avid motorcycle rider. He's been riding a motorcycle, he said, most all his life, and he's 75. So he started when he was when he was 14 or 15 with a motorbike, whatever they called them back then. But and then he went on for many years that I knew him. He rode a Harley, and then several years ago, his eyesight, his ears, his hearing was going bad. He had lost a lot of weight on purpose. But then when he went to get on the bike, he realized that he couldn't handle the 1,200-pound Harley anymore. Now, he loved that Harley, took wonderful care of it. But I kept saying, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" Yes, yes, that's what And I mean, he got rid of all of it, helmets, everything. Um, and then he was like, "Well, but look at this. Isn't this really cool paper?" I think it is. And I'm just a poser. For people that don't know what that means, is that's somebody that pretends to be a writer. Now I can look the part. I just haven't ridden all my life. Now this one's my favorite. He's got some of these hanging up in pictures of these hanging up in our living room. But like I said, he loved his Harley. When he got rid of it, I think it took him a while before he realized, oh my gosh, I think I made a mistake. So a year ago, now look at this one. On one side of the designer series paper, it's real shiny. Look at that one. But it looks like nuts and bolts. And so on one side it's that, and then on the other side it's, the this paper. Now, see, I love that. He wears orange all the time. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? He's got all kinds of jackets and things. But yeah, this is one of my favorite, pieces of the designer series paper, because you can get so many different designs out of it. Anyway, I just thought this paper was really cool. He decided to go out last year. This one's really cool too. And buy a Triumph. So that's a different kind of a motorcycle altogether, completely different than his Harley. But anyway, we're going to start by making some of these, and then I can talk about it. Now, I want you to notice that 3 out of these cards are going to be folding. There are a standard, basic fold, but instead of, it's like a tent fold, but instead of up and down, I'm going to be doing it sideways. So isn't that cool? I thought that was cool to do them sideways like that instead of our normal tint. Now this is our regular. So why don't we start with this one? So we start with our 4 1/4 by 11 and what is it? Score it at 5 1/2. Now you want to go ahead and use your bone folder and burnish it so you have a nice fold, crisp fold. These are going to be very easy because again we're trying to focus on the paper itself, and this paper makes it very easy. I'm probably going to run out of adhesive. Doggone it. Alright, let me run out there and grab my adhesive and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Alright. Say hi when you get here. Hey, Naomi. How are you? Aw, thank you for sharing. So I took a piece of black and just put some I embossed it. So anyway, one of the things that I could tell about my husband Albert in riding a bike is that he's very cautious, and I love that. I always felt and still do, I haven't ridden his new bike yet, but always felt safe on his bike with him. So I like that. So I'm taking this piece and I'm just gonna lay it down here like that to kind of give it a little bit of bling. Do you see that? But yeah, when you're on a bike, you definitely want to feel safe. And we were sitting around talking to some friends the other day, reminiscing about some of his funny stories that, that wasn't funny at the time, but, it's very dangerous for people on bikes or motorcycles because you have the weirdest thing will come out of somebody's car or truck or something. And, that happened to him many times. So one of the things that happened, let me see. So when you have a designer series paper that you're trying to focus on or feature, then it doesn't matter where the stamp set comes from. Try to use a sentiment stamp set like these. I'm using several from different ones because that's not the focus. The focus is on the designer series paper. So what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to do these exact same cards next week, but I'm going to be using a different different designer series paper. So I'll probably use these same stamp sets next week, but again, I'm going to do them, but in a different, with different designer series paper. So anyway, he's had a bed that someone was carrying in a truck, blew out of the truck and came whirling around him. And he ducked just in time. And he was such, no, I got that all sideways. He was in such a nervous wreck. He pulls over on the side of the road, and people that had seen it happen, would like pulled over too to make sure he was okay, because it was pretty darn scary, he said, and I can't imagine. So anyway, he had a trash can once that came out and got up underneath his wheel. Well, of course, now he can't steer at all, and he's just at the mercy of waiting until his motorcycle could slow down. And the same thing, people are so nice, they pull over to, his whole body was shaken. He was so nervous when that happened. And anyway, yeah, being on a motorcycle is very dangerous, besides the fact people don't see you. But one of my favorite stories, and he hates it when I tell this story, and I'm like, well, then you shouldn't have told me this story, because I'm going to tell it. I have laughed so hard every time I hear this story. But anyway, he was riding down the highway. Now, which way am I doing that? Yeah, it's this way. And he gets behind this truck. And it's a gorgeous day. It's sunshiny, not hot, all of that. Having a great ride. And all of a sudden, he feels this rain. And he thought, well, darn, where is that rain coming from? Isn't that cute? Real easy. Easy peasy. And again, it's showing off the paper. But so that's one card. Now, one of the things that's really cool about like Harley Davidson, I don't know about other motorcycles, but Harley Davidson, and that's because that's where we hang out when we hang out looking at motorcycles and stuff. I love looking at their girly stuff. I love their t-shirts and hats and scarves and jewelry. They have a child's line of clothes too. And so that's one thing that I love about this designer series paper, is that it has, girly stuff. So, so that's pretty cool. Now, again, remember, we're not doing it as a tent fold. We're doing this as a sideline. It's a very basic fold, but you're just going to layer these. So he's driving down the road. I think he's listening. And he's wondering, well, where is this rain coming from? And he looks around, and the truck in front of him is carrying a cow. And it's not rain coming down. It's pee. Cow pee. I just thought that was hilarious. How embarrassing would that be, you guys, to be driving down the road and pee come all over you? But anyway, that's just another hilarious story about and luckily it wasn't anything bad, but isn't that funny? Oh, I just thought it was funny when he told me that story. Now what did I do with the cords? There they are. Let me show you. Okay, so we're supposed to put thanks But anyway, that's what I mean by he's very experienced. And I think you have to be able to withstand some of the things that come your way, and you have to make a split-second decision. Now, one thing that I love about a Harley is that they don't always make a big noise. Most people, when you have a Harley, you want it to make the loudest noise ever. Everybody's going to turn their head when you drive by. But also when you're on the road, people will hear you. So it's another safety mechanism, I think, to have, you know, making it loud. So anyway, what did I do with my dimensionals? Do y'all see them? Shoot, they're right here somewhere. Oh, right into my card. So anyway, he's got a bike. He had lost so much weight that it was hard for him to turn the corners and do things that he normally would safely do. So when he didn't feel safe anymore, he felt like he had to give it up. But now he has that bike, and it's only like 900 pounds, so he can manipulate it and ride it and feel safe on it a lot better. There you go. So now with the spring weather, he's going to be ready to go. Oh, let's see. All right, that's 2. Y'all were doing good. All right, all of this is, again, Stampin' Up! Tells you what colors to use. So they said they use the berry vanilla on this. So this one's going to stand this way and open this way. So we're going to put our black. So I love this designer series paper for Father's Day, for masculine birthdays. I love you, thinking of you, on and on and on. So that's one reason why I got this, because I love it so much. Several of my friends' husbands ride. Albert's got some, buddies that he can go riding with. So this would be good for them as well. What is this for, I wonder? I think it just fell out. Okay. Now watch what I'm doing here. This I took the circles dies. And we normally put our scallop, or at least I do, on the outside. But this time I'm going to put it on the inside. Doesn't that look cool to do it that way? Can you see? Yeah. Hi, Diana. You have 2 Harleys. Wow. They're very loud and heavy. Now, are the Harleys yours, one yours and your husband, or both your husbands? We for sure have got to get together. Now, I keep saying that, but it sounds like we've got a lot in common. Do you like going riding with him? I used to go riding with him until I had to have my hips replaced, and my hips seem like they have locked in place. Now, I had one hip replaced 10 years ago, so it's hard for me to spread wide enough for any length of time. Now my walking's fine, but it's hard. And now that I've had both of them done, it's hard to straddle it and get on and off, especially the Harley was real hard to do that because it's so big. But I haven't even tried this other one. I'm too afraid to, I think. But yeah. Did you ever fall asleep, Diana? I would fall asleep leaning on him. I know he would get tired of that. Ugh. Okay. All right. One of the reasons my husband gave up his bike is that you have to use your feet to change gears and stuff. And it was really hard because he needed to have his knees replaced and wouldn't do it. Well, he's finally done it. Y'all know that in November. And it's been the best thing ever for him. And he's had to make a few modifications to be able to ride on the bike, but for the most part, it's been good. He is loving his new Suzuki, I think it's called. Now, these aren't very, with, tons of different fancy folds or techniques or anything, but again, it's mainly to show you that you can show off the paper instead of the stamp sets easily. I just love that. And again, it's using the very vanilla and black. All right, we're doing good, aren't we? Yeah. All right, last one. So again, this one goes back to the 10th fold, but we're going to be doing it sideways. There it is. Now look, I need to tell y'all about Stampin' Up. I know we've talked about it, is having a what they call a color refresh, and that means several of our, and we don't know how many, of our basic core colors are going to go away. And when that happens, that means the stamp sets, the paper, ribbon, all of it goes away in that color. So that we'll find out March 29th. The demonstrators will. What colors are going to be going and what new colors we're going to be getting and what our new ink colors are going to be. So what that means for you guys is you need to go ahead, if there are colors that you really like, you need to go on and get them, but especially like your re-inkers and stuff. We want to go ahead and get anything that, that we are going to need down the road. Let's see. A lot of the colors are already on what is it called? Not back order, but low inventory. So you don't want to wait much longer. I would go right now and put in an order for whatever ink pads, re-inkers for the stamps, the inks that you have now. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Yeah. So we definitely want to go ahead and get it, ready to be able to keep using our ink pads down the road. So we definitely need those re-inkers or ink pads or colors that you like. Did I already? That one doesn't look like I cleaned it. Nope, I didn't. There. All right. I'm gonna cut that at an angle and cut that at an angle. And I am excited but nervous about what cards are, what ink pads and colors are going to be staying and going. I don't want them to get rid of some that we've had for a very long time. Things like Old Olive. I don't want that one to go away. Early Espresso, things like that, I hope stay. But it's going to be different for all of us, but it's exciting all at the same time. Okay, wishing you the happiest birthday. There, what do you think? That was fast. Didn't take us long to do 4 cards. Okay. Oh, of course. I dropped something. What was it? I don't know, but I'll have to see in a minute. All right. Let's see if I can't get y'all back. Did y'all like these cards? They were pretty, weren't they? Diana, if your husband was is a bike rider, for sure you need to get this paper at least. You don't have to get the stamp set. Stampin'Up comes up with motorcycle stamp sets. I've already gotten, I think, 2. But this year I decided just to focus on the paper. But I love making masculine cards. And again, it could be birthday, thank you, thanks. Both of these are birthday. But I hope you guys liked it. And they were very easy. So y'all saw this one is cut 3x3. This one's a 3x3. This is like a 3x4, and this is like a 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. I'll put the measurements on my post underneath this. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hey, Char. Hey. Let's see. Both bikes are his. Yeah. It's not for me. Oh, wow. Wow. Military paint set. Wow. Huh. I like going for rides when we first started dating, but I think over time, my husband is the kind, Diana, that when he goes for a bike ride, he's going for a 3-hour bike ride. and it may be 3 hours to go. Like one time we took a 4 hour, 4.5 hour, and went to Myrtle Beach, spent the day at Myrtle Beach, and drove back. So it's not a little itty bitty 15, 20 minutes around town kind of bike ride. No, he wants to go, you know, 2 hours away, have lunch, mingle around, get some ice cream, and then 2 hours back. And that's hard on your body if you're not used to it. Now, it never seemed to bother him, but my old crickety body and hips, I can't do it anymore, though it's very centering. I love being outside. Um, you have to get used to all the bugs hitting you in the face. I wear a face shield like this one has on his little helmet. Can you see it? So that the bugs wouldn't hit me, and my eyes didn't dry out. But and just I felt better if I was to ever like fall or something. At least my face wouldn't get all scratched up. But anyway, um, it was fun, but yeah, it's not for me anymore. It used to be, but I never was I'm always going to be a poser. But I do love going to the Harley shops and looking. But anyway, thank you, Shar. Thank you for sharing this. All of y'all that shared it, and Naomi, of course, it's good to see you too. All right. Well, you guys have a good day, good rest of your week. Don't forget to get your re-inkers or any of the colors that you're like dying for. Like I'm going if they get rid of Balmy Blue, I'm gonna be really sad about that too. But anyway, so I'm gonna make sure I have my re-inker so that if they do, at least I'll be able to use it for a while, the ink pads anyway. All right, everybody. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. We're going to do these same cards next week, but with different designer series paper, so you can see how much fun it really is. All right. See y'all later. Bye bye.